Hello everybody, welcome to the MaffmanJones movie channel. I'm your host, John Maffio, and man do I have catching up to do. I've seen a great handful of movies since I saw It, but I haven't had a chance to actually edit videos. So I'm going to do another one of those videos where I just crunch 2 or 3 reviews into one, and this time it happens to be for the films American Assassin and Mother! American Assassin first, because it's the least controversial of the 2 movies here. It stars Dylan O'Brien and Michael Keaton, and it's about this kid who basically has this love interest. He asks her to marry him, and they accept, and then they're on a beach in paradise, and a bunch of terrorists show up and kill the fiancé. So Dylan O'Brien gets all revenge-fueled. He wants vengeance for the death of his to-be wife, and he becomes an assassin. But he must learn with Michael Keaton, who is the leader of this organization that he joins, that it's not all about revenge. He has to be disciplined. But Taylor Kitsch is in the mix as the antagonist, and he wants bad things to happen. It's based on a book, and I saw this movie in LA when I was there last week, and I enjoyed it. It was fun. It wasn't anything special. It wasn't even anything, like, great. It was just good. I don't really have any major complaints about the movie. I do think it gets boring and tame and dull at parts. It's a movie that's a little over 2 hours long. The way that 2-hour runtime elongates sometimes is a little frustrating, but ultimately I was behind Dylan O'Brien's character the entire time. I really like Dylan O'Brien. He's a really good actor who came from MTV's Teen Wolf. I don't know where else he was on, because I interviewed him at New York Comic Con once. Cool guy, and I want the best for him. He is great in this movie. He's a great charismatic lead who has acting chops, and I want to see what he does next. Michael Keaton is always great. He has that nuts feeling to him. He's got the little zany vibe of that Bruce Wayne character from the '89 Batman movie, and it comes out towards the end a lot. But I mean, I enjoyed it personally. Everybody else does a decent job. Taylor Kitsch as an antagonist gets a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Movie-like? And by movie-like, I mean, like, he does things that you'd only think a villain in a movie would do, not in real life. Even though this movie feels like it's trying to be grounded in reality, what he does personally with his dialogue and his actions seem a little cheesy. And the movie does get pretty cheesy, but I really enjoyed myself for the most part. When it wasn't dull, the action is kick-ass. Dylan O'Brien, again, he seems like he's doing all the action himself for the most part. I don't see any stuntmen. I bought into it, honestly. And even Michael Keaton, it looks like he's doing all the action too, even though I'm sure he probably had a stuntman or two too, because the guy isn't young anymore. Even though it's mostly forgettable, I've already forgot about the plot a couple days after I saw the movie. But my ultimate takeaways are that 1, Dylan O'Brien is a great actor and he needs to do more, and I hope he's in more. 2, Michael Keaton still has it, he's great, and his performance goes to a place that, again, is like the Bruce Wayne character where he gets a little nuts. Let's get nuts. Let's get nuts. And, like, I personally enjoyed it. Some people might be like, why is he acting like a clown right now? It may turn off some viewers, but I was a fan of Michael Keaton being so disciplined for most of the movie, but then losing his shit towards the end because he just couldn't take it anymore, and he's just like, ah! But yeah, those are my thoughts on American Assassin. It has its moments, but ultimately it's forgettable and dull at moments too. But if you want to see a fun performance by Dylan O'Brien and Michael Keaton, and a movie that has some decent action, this is the movie for you. I don't know if I would see it in theaters, but definitely check it out on cable when it's out then. I'm going to give this movie a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It's a Sam Worthington Applebee's meal. Next, we have, and I like saying it this way, so just bear with me for a moment, Mother! Exclamation point. It's directed by Darren Aronofsky, who has directed movies that you may love that are really uplifting and great, like Requiem for a Dream and Black Swan. Wait, I regret saying that. It stars Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem. And the plot of the film is that Jennifer Lawrence wakes up in a bed, baby, and she basically cleans the house. She's taking care of the house. But Javier Bardem, as a husband, is kind of, neglectful. He doesn't really treat her right. And they're doing their thing as a couple in this house remotely in this forest area. And then Ed Harris shows up. He's a doctor, and he's sick, and he's coughing up. And the situation grows from there. A lot has come out about this film since it released. A lot. And I don't know how to feel about it personally. When I watched the movie, personally, in the theater, I was engrossed. For the most part, it felt like a visual representation of like a younger or older brother, like poking you, like for an hour and a half, like, okay, stop poking me. Stop poking me. Stop poking me. Why are you poking me harder? Well, that hurts. Oh! Why are you punching me? Ow! Ow! It's like abuse for 2 hours. Literally, the movie is frustrating to watch. It gets frustrating because we're seeing this whole movie, the story unfold through the eyes of Jennifer Lawrence's character, and she has no idea what's going on. So the whole movie is her being like, huh? Huh? So we're also like, huh? Huh? This is a really hard film to review without talking about spoilers. But all I will say is that it gets out of hand really fast at a certain point. It builds up in momentum, and then once it unleashes, it just, like, it's relentless for the next 20-30 minutes. Like, what Darren Aronofsky was going for, it clicked at one point, and I was like, oh, I get it. But I still really enjoyed the movie. I think the performances are really good. I just think that, again, it's one of those movies where it depends and falls on the perspective of the viewer. But there are also other interpretations of the film in terms of maybe being an artist in the film industry, or in any industry being an artist, and having that affect the lives of family or loved ones. That's just one other interpretation, but I've heard other interpretations online, reading analyzations about this film. I don't know, I'm not really that smart of a guy, so whenever a movie like this comes out, I feel like I'm talking out of my ass when I speak about it. I'm just being honest and truthful, but what people are saying in relation to religion for this movie, that's what I agree with most. That's what I took away when I was watching it on my own before reading stuff, and that's what I took away after watching it and reflecting on it for days and days and days. As a craftsman piece from filmmakers and Darren Aronofsky, I think it's good. I think what he does is daring and bold, and in ways ambitious, and I admire him for that, and I admire Paramount Pictures for basically putting that press release out that saying people aren't going to like this movie, but we want to make movies like this, so if you don't like it, well, tough luck, bitch. I like that. But I also see how people can be annoyed and frustrated and pissed off by a movie like this, that they either spent money on this or spent valuable time on this and ended up really getting angry. I understand it, and I also can see beyond that, personally, where if it's not what I wanted or exactly what I expected, that's fine. And what I got, I was satisfied with. But it was a frustrating experience. And it's a movie that I don't know if I could rate this correctly. I think it's one of those films that people are going to have differing opinions on, and opinions that are going to evolve over time. Right now, I think as a film, it's solid and it works. And it did the job for me. I've been thinking about it for days. People have been discussing it, and people will be discussing it for a long time. I'm giving it a 3. A solid 3 out of 5 stars. It's a full-course Applebee's meal. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of Mother! Exclamation point. We can talk about spoilers down below. Just mark the spoilers if you're going to talk about it. Those are my reviews for American Assassin and Mother. If you enjoyed those, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already so you won't miss a video from me ever again, and check out everything else down below. I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace out.